Hello and welcome to AM1's Thoughts On, where today I thought I would take on the most polarizing anime of them all, just as a gentle start. Sword Art Online. Now Sword Art Online is a bit of a doozy to tackle because it is loved by so many and it is hated by so many. So talking about it will mean you either hate me or you love me. One of the two. Before I get to my exact opinions on it, let me just say what I know about it. Now, the setting is, as I'm sure most of you know, people are trapped in a video game. They die in the video game, they die in the real world. It's all rather simplistic, but you know, it's an interesting survival story. Because you have people from the real world in a game setting and they need to survive there with all the game mechanics. And it all sounds really good. And indeed, in the first few episodes, it had me. It really had me. It had me for a lot of the first arc, in fact. And then it started to just go a little tiny bit a lot downhill. Here's the thing. I think that Sword Art Online had a great concept. It wasn't carried out well. That much is what I think. And to a big degree, I think this is down to the characters. Now, I'm not the first person to complain about Kirito, the main character, who was made out to be sort of a generic hardcore gamer. You know, he plays games and that's basically all he knows how to do. But as time goes on, I just feel that he becomes less and less relatable. He's OP, sure, but he's too OP. Way too OP. And then, let's not forget the side characters, which are forgettable, or harem, or comedic relief. And they do have some interesting characters in the beginning. Like, again, it's in the beginning. Everything is okay and fine, and even good in the beginning. In the beginning, all was well, and then clusterfucky that's a word now. Clusterfucky happened. Well. What doesn't help this anime's case at all is the fact that Kirito just ends up with a harem. He gets one wife, like an actual, well, it's in-game, but still wife. Spoilers. You have been warned. A little bit late, but sure. And eventually, the plot gets less character-driven, which is what I want. Others might differ. And it gets more story-driven, like, the story needs this to happen. We don't care what happens, how bad the characters are, or what sort of bullshit reasons we come up with for it. We need this specific thing to happen. And they make it happen. And I rage about it. Now Sword Art Online does have 2 seasons. What I've been talking about so far is the first season, which is like that. I mean, the first part of it is and then comes the second part of it, which I don't really want to talk about it. I really don't want to talk about it. It was horrible. It was terrible. Terrible. Now the only saving grace for season 1 basically there were 2: animation and sound. Like, the music was great and the animation was spectacular to watch. The problem is when that's the only saving grace. To me, the characters are the foundation of an anime. You need good characters to have a good show. If you have a bad story but great characters, you have something good. If you have a good story but bad characters, nobody cares. Even below that, all the way at the bottom, you have animation and sound, which, of course, if you have action scenes, you need good action animation, and whether it's good or bad there, I can change a lot of things. But otherwise, I'm not really interested. And music and sound, well, that's as subjective as it comes. So, whether you give it a 10 out of 10, I thought it was amazeballs! Or whether you give it a, oh shit, that's a -2. That's all up to you. So, I don't really care about those factors that much unless they really shine. And Sword Art Online was one of those times when animation got to shine. And it was one of the reasons why, among others, me watched through it. Then you come to Season 2, and things are changing. Now we're no longer in the fantasy setting of the 2 previous games that we explored. Now we have a gun setting in the first half. And I was thinking, okay, so how do you gonna get a good action scene with guns? And they demonstrated that brilliantly with the introduction of Sino, who is an excellent sniper, and that watching that battle was so great. And I just thought, yes, we're striking gold here. This is good. They can't screw this up, can they? Yes, they could. In a gun, I mean, spoilers here, big spoilers, in case you didn't know, but in a gun game, the main character has to come in, and first of all, he has to look like a girl, because that's funny, and second of all, he has to use a sword, because he can't use a gun. He has a little pistol, but that's it, and it just, all the way at the end, he uses it, because reasons he had to do that, and the final battle is a sword battle, like ding 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 against each other, because in a gun game you fight with swords, with effing swords. But more interestingly than the first season, at least according to my thoughts, is the story, because while in the first story it was fairly generic, like you're trapped in this world, you can't escape until you've cleared it, like textbook stuff. But then you get to the second season, and the thing is, some guy is killing people in games, and it doesn't seem to be anything wrong with the game or your gear. They're like these little visor things that he used to get into the virtual world. Nobody knows exactly how he's doing this, so there's a guy in the game killing people for real. Now we're talking. This is interesting, and it's sort of a bit of a mystery thing. It's not very good mystery as such, but it's still intriguing. It's more intriguing, I think. And then once you pass that arc, then you get to you have a little 2-episode arc in between, which I could take it or leave it. Honestly, it was fun as a little breather in between. But then you have Mother's Rosario. Now, Mother's Rosario is a special case because it's not about being trapped in a game in any way. It's not gamers who die if they are killed in this game, or this character have been trapped in this virtual universe, so she's forever in a coma in the real world, or indeed some guys killing others in a game, even though that should be impossible. No, now it's just they're playing a game. Well, it has a deeper backstory than that, but it's still mostly just people playing a game and trying to achieve their own milestones. But once you kind of get past that, you realize it is a deep, heartfelt story, and Kirito isn't in it, so it's good. And Mother's Rosario just got me feeling that I wanted more now. And there was a revelation at the ending. There was some name dropping, some like subtle info, which suddenly changed a bit of how I view the first season as well. So if you watch through the first season, do yourself a favor, watch the second season. It's actually better. It's one of the rare cases where the second season is so much better. First season alone, you can watch it if you want. I'm not gonna blame you. It can be enjoyable for the right audience. I got sucked into it, but as the series went on, I just felt more and more like I was wasting my time. But you know, it's one of those series you should watch if you want to have an opinion on it. So yes, basically, if you watch first season, also watch second season. If you're not prepared to go through season 1 in order to get to season 2, well, don't watch it at all. There's also the problem that there doesn't seem to be a proper gamer in any of these arcs, because anyone who plays these virtual reality games of the series simply take it all too seriously. Where's the lol owned guy, or the guy who goes rage quit, screw you, I'm out. I mean, in the first arc they can't log out, but anyway, you know. And all that stuff is it's just so weird to see that. Also, calling bullshit on all the pretty girls, like, you know, there would be some, yes, And in the first episode, they did make a big scene about, you know, pretty girls turning into fat men and handsome boys turning into these skinny, scrawny, creepy guys. And it was fun to watch that scene and just, oh, now everybody has to be themselves because and look like themselves in the game. And that was great. But then you just, while everybody is themselves, you have these gorgeous women, these very fully breasted, if that's a word. It's just, I don't buy it. Yes, there would be pretty girls, but would there be so effing many of them? And would all of them fall in love with the main character and survive to the end? No. And like I said, like, no gamers, there's no LOL, there's no own, there's just, everybody's taking it very seriously, like they're living in that world, and in a sense they are, but still, even when they're not trapped in the game as such, like in the second arc of the first season, it's just, they aren't gamers, they're acting too much like this is a serious life or death thing, even though it's not by then. So I want to end off by saying that I think that Sword Art Online has its good sides and its bad sides for both seasons. But I think that you will enjoy it the most if you are part of the audience in mind, and I believe that to be, lo and behold, the gamer. Now, gamers are the kinds that enjoy this even if they haven't watched other anime, and that's the thing. For gamers, this is their wet dream. They want to be the overpowered person getting all the girls. And that's just basically it. They don't care about anything else. They want to dream themselves into the role of Kirito. While as far as it being an anime goes, which is where I look at it, because I am anime fan first and gamer second, I'm mostly casual, I think that it has a bit too many flaws for my liking. I mean, I have friends who have watched Sword Art Online and Attack on Titan and One Punch Man, those three, okay? Now, and weirdly enough, it's like they do it in a completely different order that I would do it. And some of you might not. I mean, this is my opinion. But still, it's like they do, like One Punch Man watched a few episodes, wasn't really interested, and I go, what? Oh, come on! Well, at least watch it. It's just 12 episodes. Watch it. At least for the end fight. And then you have Attack on Titan, which they go, oh, I liked it. Yeah, I liked it. That was good. And I can agree with that. Attack on Titan was good. But then comes Sword Art Online. Oh, yes, I was about to say Attack on Titan. Sword Art Online. Yes, Sword Art Online. That was amazing. Brilliant. I watched it twice. And I go, what? No. You should swap One Punch Man and Sword Art Online and go on those. But, you know, people's tastes are very subjective. Sadly enough for me, because that means no, everybody likes the same as I do. And that's just the kind of people that this anime wants to reach out to. So if you're a gamer, watch it, you'll enjoy it. If you are not a gamer, who knows? If you are not a gamer, but a big anime fan, you shouldn't watch it. Unless, like so many people, you just want to have your own opinion on it. Also, I wish to give just basic ratings for what I think about the four main parts. Like you have the first part season 1, second part season 1, first part season 2, and second part of season 2. I don't count the little mini quest in season 2, those two. So basically you have okay transitioning to bad, and then you have terrible. That's why I'm using the middle finger. And then you have very good, and then you have very emotional and very good. Now those are the main points of the different arcs, according to me. Thank you everyone for watching this video of my opinion on Sword Art Online. You can comment your own opinions in the comments, you can subscribe to me, you can like or dislike, whichever one you feel like. And for now, just remember that I am Anime Mixer 1, and I I'm gonna improve, but I also approve of this video. I approve of this video.